What's the one organ that never gets a day off? Your heart. It beats over 100,000 times every single day, never stops, never takes a break, never clocks out. From the moment you were born until this very second, it's been working non-stop, pumping blood through 60,000 miles of blood vessels, keeping you alive without asking for anything in return. So what happens when you decide to skip a few meals? What happens inside your chest when dinner doesn't come? Most people assume their heart would panic, that it needs constant fuel to keep pumping, that missing breakfast, lunch, or dinner would somehow stress this tireless organ. But here's what science discovered, and it might be the most surprising thing you learn about your body today. Your heart doesn't starve when you fast. It transforms. This is educational content, not medical advice. If you have heart conditions or take medications, talk to your doctor before changing how you eat. Today, let's take a journey inside your chest, hour by hour, and discover what really happens to the most important muscle in your body when food stops coming. Part 1. The biggest myth about your heart. Right after you finish eating, your heart is comfortable. Fuel is abundant. Life is easy. Think of your heart like a car that can run on different types of fuel. Right now, it's using energy from the meal you just ate, a mix of sugar and fat floating through your bloodstream. Everything is running smoothly. No alarms, no warnings, just steady, reliable pumping. But here's something most people don't realize. Even when you're eating normally, your heart is not primarily running on sugar. This is one of the biggest myths about heart health. Most people think the heart needs sugar to survive. They think skipping meals means starving this vital organ. The truth is very different. Your heart is already a fat-burning machine. About 70 to 90% of the energy your heart uses comes from fat, not sugar, not carbs. Fat. Your heart has been running primarily on fat since the day you were born. Let that sink in for a moment. The organ you depend on for every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of your life. It prefers fat over sugar. It's been this way your entire life. You just never knew it. Sugar only provides a small portion of what your heart needs. The rest? Your heart prefers to burn fat even when sugar is readily available. This is important because it means your heart isn't as dependent on your meals as you might think. It's been burning fat all along. You just didn't know it. So when you stop eating, your heart doesn't suddenly face a crisis. It simply adjusts the fuel mix. A little less of this, a little more of that. No drama, no emergency. Part 2. The metabolic shift. As the hours pass without food, something changes inside you. Imagine your body as a house. When resources become limited, you don't keep every light blazing in every room. You start turning off lights you're not using. You conserve. You become efficient. You prioritize what matters most. That's exactly what your body does. Insulin, the hormone that controls blood sugar, starts to drop. This is the signal. The message that food isn't coming anytime soon. And this signal triggers a cascade of changes throughout your entire system. When insulin falls, fat cells start releasing their contents. Fatty acids flood into your bloodstream. The liver begins converting this fat into usable energy. Your metabolism shifts from digest and store mode to release and burn mode. But here's the fascinating part. Your heart barely notices this transition. Why? Because your heart has been burning fat as its primary fuel source all along. This isn't new territory for your heart. This is home. For your heart, this shift is like switching from regular gas to premium. The engine keeps running smoothly. No sputtering, no struggle, no complaints. While other parts of your body are adjusting to the absence of food, your heart continues beating with the same steady rhythm it always has. Unchanged, unfazed, unimpressed by the lack of food. It's almost like your heart was designed for this. And actually, it was. Part 3. Ketones, the premium fuel. Around the 12-hour mark, something remarkable begins. Your liver starts doing something it's been doing for millions of years of human evolution. It takes the fat being released from your storage and transforms it into something special. Ketones. You might have heard this word before. Ketones are small packages of energy, compact and clean, easy for your body to use. Think of them as premium fuel pods that can travel anywhere in your body, crossing barriers that other fuels cannot. Your brain loves ketones. It can use them when sugar isn't available. This is how your ancestors survived long winters and failed hunts. Their brains kept working, kept problem solving, kept them alive even when food was scarce. But your heart loves ketones even more. When ketones arrive, your heart welcomes them like an old friend. It starts burning them alongside fat. And something interesting happens. Ketones burn cleaner than other fuels. Think about the difference between burning a high-quality candle versus a cheap one. Both produce light and heat. Both do the job. But one burns clean with barely any smoke, while the other leaves soot and residue everywhere. When your heart burns ketones, it produces less oxidative stress, less cellular exhaust, less wear and tear on the machinery that keeps you alive. This isn't a flaw in human design. This is a feature. Your ancestors didn't have refrigerators. They didn't have 24-hour grocery stores or food delivery apps. They went days between successful hunts, walking miles on empty stomachs, hearts beating strong the entire time. Those early humans had to chase down prey. They had to walk for miles searching for food. They had to stay alert for predators, all of this on an empty stomach, and their hearts never failed them. The heart in your chest right now is descended from hearts that thrived during scarcity. It carries the same programming, the same genetic code, the same ability to switch fuels and keep going when times get tough. Part 4. The cellular optimization. Now we enter territory that scientists have only recently begun to understand. Deep inside the cells of your heart, there's something like a master switch. Researchers call it BDH1, but you can think of it as your heart's head mechanic, a specialist who lives inside every heart cell waiting to be called into action. When you've been fasting long enough, this mechanic wakes up, and when it does, it starts optimizing everything. Here's what makes this mechanic special. It doesn't just do one job, it does two. First, it helps your heart use ketones more efficiently. It fine-tunes the system so your heart extracts maximum energy from this premium fuel. Every ketone molecule gets used to its fullest potential, nothing wasted. But second, and this surprised even the scientists who discovered it, it also helps your heart burn regular fat better than before. One worker, two jobs, both done exceptionally well. Researchers discovered this by studying what happens when this switch is turned off. Hearts without this mechanic struggled. They couldn't burn fat efficiently. They accumulated waste products. Exercise tolerance dropped. Performance suffered across the board. But when the switch is on, when the mechanic is working, your heart becomes more efficient. It burns fuel cleaner. It operates closer to its design potential. This doesn't happen after one skipped meal. It takes time. Studies suggest that intermittent fasting done consistently over weeks triggers these adaptations. Your heart literally remodels its metabolism at the cellular level. It becomes better at its job, more efficient, more resilient. Not because it's struggling, but because it's optimizing. Part 5. The heart failure discovery. Here's something that changed how scientists think about heart health. When researchers studied failing hearts that were weak, tired, struggling to keep pumping, they found something unexpected. These struggling hearts weren't reaching for sugar, they were reaching for ketones. In patients with heart failure, ketone usage nearly tripled compared to healthy hearts. 3 times more. The failing heart, desperate for fuel it could use efficiently, turned to ketones like a drowning person reaches for a life preserver. It grabbed onto ketones as if its life depended on it. Because in a way, it did. Think about what this means. When hearts are in trouble, when they need help the most, they instinctively shift toward the same fuel that fasting provides. The struggling heart doesn't want more sugar. It wants ketones. It craves them. It reaches for them automatically. This discovery opened new questions in cardiology. Could ketones actually be a preferred fuel for hearts under stress? Could fasting-induced ketones provide something that constant feeding doesn't? The research is still ongoing, but the pattern is striking. Healthy hearts can use ketones efficiently. Struggling hearts actively seek them out, and fasting naturally produces them. Important, this doesn't mean you should try to treat heart disease by skipping meals. If you have heart problems, you need medical care, not dietary experiments. But for healthy hearts, this research suggests that periods without food might not be the stress we once assumed. Part 6. Safety and warning signs. Your heart has a way of communicating with you. During fasting, most people feel fine, maybe a little hungry, maybe a bit low on energy at first, but their hearts keep beating normally, steadily, without complaint. However, if you experience heart racing when it shouldn't be, skipped beats, fluttering, or pounding that doesn't go away, severe dizziness, chest pressure, feeling like you might faint, cold sweats from nowhere, these are not signs to push through. These are signals to stop. Break your fast. Drink water with electrolytes, salt, potassium, magnesium. These minerals keep your heart's electrical system running smoothly. Without them, even healthy hearts can stumble. Sometimes it's as simple as a pinch of salt in your water. Your body loses electrolytes when you're not eating, and your heart notices when they're low. If something feels seriously wrong, don't wait. Get medical help. Your heart's safety always comes first. So what have we learned? Your heart is not a fragile organ that panics when meals are delayed. It's a metabolic masterpiece refined over millions of years of evolution, capable of switching between fuel sources with remarkable flexibility. When you fast, your heart doesn't starve. It adapts. It shifts from burning mostly fat to burning fat plus ketones. It activates internal mechanisms that improve efficiency. It operates on cleaner fuel with less oxidative waste. This doesn't mean fasting is magic. It doesn't mean everyone should do it. And it certainly doesn't mean ignoring medical advice in favor of dietary trends. But it does mean this. The next time you skip a meal and wonder if you're hurting your heart, remember what's actually happening inside your chest. Your heart is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Not struggling, transforming. Not weak, not starving, adapting. The same mechanism that kept your ancestors alive during harsh winters is still there, waiting inside you, ready to activate when food becomes scarce, ready to help your heart thrive, not just survive. Maybe we've been underestimating this organ all along. Maybe your heart knows things about survival that your conscious mind has forgotten. Have you noticed changes in how your heart feels during fasting? More energy, less of something unexpected? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else understand their own body better. If someone you care about is curious about fasting and worried about their heart, share this video. Subscribe if you want to keep exploring what your body is truly capable of. Your heart has been waiting patiently for you to discover what it's truly capable of.